Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. Welcome to the Prog Corner, boys and girls, where today it's part 3 of your favorite prog rock album covers. We're going to be covering numbers 26 through 50 today. And so without any further ado, let's get going on this thing. At number 50, it's Hawkwind and Space Ritual. This one came to us from the great Peter Brickley. Thank you so much for this. This was the great double album that came out in 1973. It is so great that it kind of even eclipses all their studio work. The album cover was done by Barney Bubbles, who had worked with them on a couple of other albums. This album is just so great. It pretty much just focuses on the Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do album, so they don't have their hit on there, but you don't want the hit on there. You just want to go to outer space with this thing. What a great album cover. You know, the different panels fold out, and there's all these different images. Color images on one side, flip it over, the other 6 panels are like monochrome. It's just great. At number 49, let's go to the Ukraine and Karfagen 7. What a great album cover this is. The artist here is Igor Sokolsky. Wow, he's great. I know Karfagen has used several different artists for their albums, but this guy's great. I think he's done a couple of theirs. This came to us from Dave Last. Thank you so much. Great suggestion. At number 48, it's Orme and Felona y Sorona. Oh, I love this album. I love this album cover. It really does tell the story of the 2 planets that are battling each other in this intergalactic kind of thing. It's really cool. The artist here is Lanfranco Frigeri. And this was Orme's 4th album, and many consider it to be their masterpiece. Thank you, Michael Linker, for this one. Yeah, we're going to be doing an Italian episode real soon, and I'll be talking at length about the great Orme. What a great band. At number 47, it's In the Wake of Poseidon, kids. It's King Crimson's 2nd album from 1970. This album was clearly not as good as the debut, but the artwork is almost as great. I really do love this image from Tamo de Jong. Not Now John recommended this, and it's a terrific album cover. I just love it. At number 46, yeah, Mark Wilkinson's going to get a workout here on this top 100 list. Yeah, it's Misplaced Childhood, their 3rd album. We talked about Fugazi yesterday, so today we're talking about their masterpiece. What a great record this is, and the album cover's really good. Our Family in Motion recommended this fantastic sleeve from 1985, and yeah, I just love it. Now we're on to number 45. Another artist we talked about a little bit yesterday is Anthony Phillips and the Geese and the Ghost, and this artist is, of course, Peter Cross, who we talked about a little bit, being Anthony Phillips' primary illustrator. He doesn't do work for any other artist, just Anthony Phillips. And look at the artwork on this. Man, oh man, I love this album, and I love the artwork, you know. And it's got Phil Collins and Michael Rutherford on it. What else do you need? At number 44, this one comes, Geese and the Ghost was D. Richardson. Good call, D. Hellfire from Black Midis at number 44, courtesy Christian Toma. This is a recent one, just came out a couple months ago. Apparently there's 3 different artists that worked on this thing. I don't know how you have 3 different artists, painting an image. I don't understand that, but it's a really great record, and the album cover is phenomenal, and it really sucks you into the whole storytelling that's going on this thing. It's really cool. At number 43, the great Ken Bard from Monarch Trail. Dude, I love you. I love your music. And I love this recommendation. Renaissance Novella. This was their 7th album, their 5th with the classic Mark II lineup. And it came with 2 different sleeves. Okay, here's the US sleeve that I was familiar with. And that's the UK sleeve, which I have never seen in the wild personally. And both of them were done by Pamela Brown. What a great image. I really like both of them. At number 42, it's The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I believe this is our first Hypnosis cover for the day, 1974. It's different for Hypnosis. They were usually all about different colors and photographic images. This was really interesting for them. You know, the monotone, grayscale type of cover really wasn't their thing, but I really enjoy the entire package with the gatefold story that Peter Gabriel wrote and everything. It's a cool package. Thank you, ICL, my brother from a different mother. At number 41, it's the great Italian band PFM and Storia di un Minuto. This comes courtesy Graham Allen. This was their 1972 debut. It's a weird cover. I seen this thing for a long time. I finally got it on vinyl, and I still had it for a couple weeks, and then I finally noticed at the bottom left, it says PFM. I never even seen that there. I see a face. I see some kind of urban image. I don't know what's going on. Are those low-hanging clouds? I got no idea. But it's a really good image. And again, there were like 3 different artists that worked on it. Do you need 3 artists for that image? I don't know. At number 40, it's our first Roger Dean cover of the day, and it's courtesy of David Amos, one of my Twitter followers. Yeah, DBA, the Downs Braid Association. That's Jeff Downs and Chris Braid. This was their 4th album. This was the 2nd sleeve that Roger Dean did the artwork for, and it's clearly the very best thing they've ever done. This is actually a really good record. Everybody knows Jeff Downs, but if you don't know Chris Braid, this cat has worked with everybody. He's worked with Lana Del Rey. He's worked with Britney Spears. He's worked with Beyonce. Forget about it. And number 39, King Crimson Red makes the list. Oh, yes, it does. The great album from 1974. The artwork was done by John Kosh with that great photograph of the 3 of them by Jared Mankiewicz. Really good suggestion from Kimmo Hatala. I've always liked this image. I think it really fit the music really well. I like the back image, you know, with everything going up into the red line. And it's just a great image, great photograph, and just an amazing album. At number 38, another album that came with 2 different album covers. I guess, this is Walter/Wendy Carlos, Switched on Bach from 1968. Thank you, Joe Internaut. Is this a prog album? Well, not really, but it certainly is one of those formative albums that helped shape and define prog, because a lot of our pioneering early developers of our beloved genre were very clued into this record. Walter Carlos switched his sexual identity in 1979, so he switched on Bach. He's a switcher, that guy. Wendy Carlos, amazing. Yeah, this is the original album cover, and then there's another one where Bach's sitting down and one where Bach is standing up. I don't know. I guess Wendy had a problem with one of the images. I guess the synthesizer's not even set up right. Chords are going to the output. They should have been in the input, and she didn't like that. I don't really understand, but who cares? Number 37. It's Rush, Hemispheres, boys and girls. Yeah, Hugh Simon's been all over this list, and why not for this fantastic 1978 release? This was Rush's 6th album, and for a lot of people, it's their favorite. It certainly is their proggiest album, and just look at that album cover. 1978, I guess the prog world wasn't done with naked male butts, because we had one in 1977 that, yes, provided for us. So thank you, Rush, for that. Really appreciate it. Dave Hope recommended this one. Good job, Dave. Very good job. At number 36, Mark Wilkinson again. It's Marillion Clutching at Straws, and an album cover he never liked. He felt very rushed putting the image together. Fish was giving him all these different ideas, you know, from the music and the lyrics and the album, and he had a real tight deadline. But I think did a phenomenal job with it. You've got the images of Dylan Thomas and Truman Capote and Jack Kerouac and Lenny Bruce and John Lennon and James Dean. And I guess all these guys kind of make figurative appearances in the album. It's a great image. All them dudes hanging out at the bar, getting drunk and telling stories or whatnot. At number 35. Yeah, well, Clutching at Straws was Alistair Ogilvy. Thank you, sir. Number 35, Jennifer Allen's choice right here. Yeah, big shocker. She picked Supertramp Crime of the Century, and what a great album cover that was. I remember the first time I got that album, I borrowed it from a friend of mine at school. I just loved that album cover, and then the song School came on, and I was just all into it. I love that album. I love the image. It's really great. It's Paul Wakefield did this. He also did Crisis What Crisis for Supertramp. Apparently, Crime of the Century was the very first album cover he ever was commissioned to do, and he did a phenomenal job with it. At number 34, it's Steve Hackett and Voyage of the Acolyte. Yeah, this was his first solo album. He was still in Genesis when he did this, so you got Michael Rutherford and Phil Collins. The album cover, the artwork was done by his wife, Kim Poor. And as we just discussed a little bit yesterday, they weren't married at this point in time. They got married a little bit later, had a very acrimonious divorce, which really spelled Steve some trouble with his solo career. But Francois Berube was the one that recommended this one, and it's a great image. The nature scene, and there's a door popping up from out of nowhere, and some chick with these globes walking through it. It's pretty cool. At number 33, let's give Roger Dean his due with the 1980 album Sleeper Yes's Drama. This was a fantastic album. What a great cover. After a couple of Dean-less album covers, it was so nice to have him back in the fold. Going for the one in Tormato, certainly could have used his artwork, certainly would have made the packaging a lot more interesting, but on Drama, you've got it in full spades. Panthers Unite, great record, just amazing sleeve. I love it. Thank you, eBay Hi-Fi, for that. At number 32, one I got a late suggestion for. So this is a duplicate. This is a multiple nomination type of thing. So it probably should have been in the final episode, but I had it already here. So it is a little bit low. Thank you, Tony Bozar and Pablo from Twitter for recommending Uriah Heep, The Magician's Birthday. And I love the colors on this. It just grabs you. There's no way you could be flipping through a record store or crate digging and not have that sleeve just stop you dead in its tracks. It certainly did me. My sister had Demons and Wizards, and I liked it, but then I'm going through the records at my favorite record store, and I seen The Magician's Birthday. I just had to buy it, and I just love it. It's fantastic. It's a great sleeve, and I've been using that over on the Fire Note for my year in review as the banner image because it's just so striking. I just love it. Number 31. It's another Supertramp album, boys and girls. This time it's Breakfast in America from 1979. Thank you, Andy Purchase, for this. There were two different artists involved with this sleeve. You have Mike Haggerty and Mike Dowd. But the star of the show here is Libby. And that was Kate Murtaugh, who was an actress who had... She had acted in Breakfast at Tiffany's. She did a bunch of movies. Then she did a bunch of TV shows. She was on My Three Sons and I Dream of Jeannie and a bunch of those. But here she is years later, acknowledging the fact that she is the waitress from the Breakfast in America sleeve. And it's terrific. I just love it. At number 30, we're going into the land of the pink and the gray. Caravan's absolute shocking masterpiece. I just love this album so much. Thank you, Anthony Tredenick. This sleeve is just one of those that just captures your imagination the minute you look at it. There's so much detail involved here, so much to look at. I love the pink hue that was used here, the gatefold, it folds out and you get a full image. It's just one of the great sleeves of all time, and the music therein does not disappoint. 9 Feet Underground, Golf Girl, what a terrific album, what a terrific sleeve. Wow, that's all I got to say about that one. At number 29, It's a Tab in the Ocean. This one came to us from Michael Hammerton, Nektar's second album, I think. But what a great record. What a great sleeve. Same guy that did this artwork, did a couple more for them. I can't remember his name. I forgot to write it down. I'm a dummy. But it's amazing. It's a great sleeve. And just look at it. I mean, it's amazing. And Iron Maiden thought so too. A couple songs of this album ended up on B-sides for them. At number 28, it's Kansas's debut, and this comes to us from Red Yosh 98. Apparently, this is an image that is on display in the Kansas State Legislature, so you can go and take a look at it. It's obviously a Civil War image, and Kansas's position as one of those border states made it a really interesting time to be a Kansan, I would imagine. But that image, man, Kansas's debut album, one of my favorite albums of all time. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I added up all the times I've listened to it, it is probably my most listened to album of all time. I just love it that much. At number 27, this one comes courtesy Chris Householder, and it's Rush, A Farewell to Kings. I love this sleeve. Man, I bought this album the day it came out. I was so excited because I kind of got into Rush right after 2112, and I got a hold of All the World's a Stage, and I just became a huge fan. So A Farewell to Kings was the first Rush album I got, right on release day, and that sleeve was a big reason why I was so excited. Hugh Syme, another great sleeve by him. Thank you so much for that suggestion. At number 26, we're going to wrap things up with a Roger Dean sleeve. It's Demons and Wizards from Uriah Heep. Thank you, Sandy Bain, for that suggestion. Yeah, if you look at Demons and Wizards and The Magician's Birthday, both released in 1972, both have that Roger Dean sleeve, and coincidentally enough, both are easily their proggiest albums. There was definitely something in the air back then where if you got an artist like Roger Dean doing your sleeve, you certainly felt a need to create music commensurate with that. And Dean did the exact same thing with his artwork, where he tried to make sure that what he was producing tied into what the band's vision was. Just the symbiosis between artist and musical artist, just unparalleled when it comes to Roger Dean. And I'm really looking forward to part 1, where we are going to go through the top 25 prog rock album covers ever. Thank you guys for being here. I love you. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notifications bell. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe. Do all that, do all that stuff you're supposed to do that YouTubers are supposed to remind you about at the end of their videos. Whatever. Have a great weekend. I love you guys. See you soon.